Hey everyone, it's Tracy here, back with another holiday card series video. I do have the winner of the stamp set at the end of the video, so if you're looking for that, it will be at the end. Alright, so this is kind of a different holiday card. I guess it wouldn't technically be considered like a Christmas card, but I'm going to use like a Christmassy color palette. So I am using the W+9 Fresh Cut Florals stamps and the die set. I already cut out all of the dies that I needed out of white cardstock. That ink that I used was Field of Greens from Hero Arts, and this lighter one is called Green Hills. And I stamped the larger leaves there, and now these are the smaller leaves. And I just stamped a few on video, but I did it for all of the ones that I have. And now I have the Royal Red ink from Hero Arts, and I'm going to stamp these flowers. My ink pad has glitter on it somehow. I really have no idea how because I don't think I use glitter with it, but those are the little specks on my ink pad that you see. And I'm just lining up each of the images with the die cut. I just find it easier to die cut a whole bunch out at first and then stamp them all. So now I'm stamping the inside with my soft granite ink, and it looks darker on that red, but once it dries it actually like turns lighter. It's kind of cool how it changes after it dries a little bit. And I chose to do the gray just because I wanted a little bit, I wanted you to be able to see that but not be so like drastic of a color difference. For this smaller one I'm using the Hero Arts Pale Tomato ink. And I'm stamping each of those, lining them right up with my die cut. That's the nice thing about the clear stamps, is it makes it easier to line them up. And I chose to buy the dies for this set just because otherwise that would be a lot of fussy cutting. And then I'm stamping the center of these with the soft granite ink. I like to fussy cut, but I don't know if I like to fussy cut that much for all of these floral images. And actually, my wrist has been in pain lately, so I might have to invest in more dies instead of actually fussy cutting them. Alright, so once I got all of that, I have a 3" by 3" white piece of cardstock. And this is where I'm going to arrange my wreath that I'm making with these flowers. Like I said, I am making a wreath, but it's not necessarily like a Christmas wreath, but I don't really have any Christmassy stamp sets that I would be able to do that with. So that's why I'm kind of improvising and just showing you guys how to stretch your stamps and use them in different ways instead of buying a new set just because I know I can't afford that. So I like to be able to do different things with my stamps. And then I'm using my Tombow Mono Multi-Glue to adhere those down. And you don't need very much glue at all on the back of these. And you can see I arranged my bottom layer in more of a circular pattern. That's just going to be the base. If you do need help with the circular part, you could take a circle die, and just trace that so you have some guide as to what your circle could be. But you could even take like something from your kitchen, the cap of something, to trace that circle if you want the guide on your cardstock. And then either your images would cover that pencil line or you could just lightly erase it before moving on. And then I'm just going to take all of these other images and just layer them and arrange them in this wreath-shaped form. So I have the smaller leaves and the larger flowers and then the smaller flowers. I ended up using only 4 of the large red flowers just because it's what looked the best. Otherwise, they were kind of too close to each other and really took over the card front, which I didn't like. So I'm still arranging and gluing. It did take me a few minutes to do this, but I think if you were to make many of them like this, you could do it in a kind of like a line system and do one at a time, and it would go a lot faster. And then also, if you don't put a lot of glue on the bottom, you're able to tuck some of the other images underneath them if need be when you are doing that. So it's best not to use too much adhesive on the back, otherwise they will stick and you won't be able to get them back up. Alright, so I'm almost all set with my wreath here. I got all of the images. I did have a few left over that I didn't end up using, but I can always use those on another card. And then one last step for the wreath, I took a piece of May Arts Natural Twine, and I'm just going to tie a bow, and I want to have quite a bit of extra on the ends just because I want it to hang longer and kind of cover my whole wreath. And before I adhere that onto the wreath, I'm just going to adhere that cardstock, or the white cardstock, onto a piece of black cardstock that is just a little bit bigger. I just want it to have a little black frame around the edge. And then I'm going to adhere that to my white A2 size card base, and I'm using some large 3D foam squares from Best Creation. These are a really, I think the whole sheet of these foam squares is like less than $2, so they're really affordable. If you are on a crafting budget, I would recommend those. And all of the supplies I use on this card are linked below if you're interested and would like to know where to find them. And then I can go ahead and adhere my bow down. I'm just going to use a little bit of my Tombow Mono Multi Glue again. You could also use Glossy Accents or your Multi-Matte Medium for that. And then I'll go ahead and trim off the ends just so that they're not too long. Alright, so I'm going to stamp the sentiment. It says thank you, just because I know around the holidays you're given gifts and you need to send thank you cards, which is why I chose that. And it also comes from the same W+9 stamp set. And I'll stamp that right in the middle. And then to add a little bit of sparkle to the flowers, I'm going to use my Wink of Stella pen and put that all over the smaller flowers that I stamped. It just gives it a little bit of shimmer. It's not too much glitter or sparkle though. And then I'm going to use these white sequins. These are, I believe, 4mm. They're smaller than a typical sequin. And I'm just applying those down with my Tombow Mono Multi Glue and just kind of all over the wreath just to make it look like there might be a little bit of a sparkle or shine to that. And then that's my finished card for today. And then the winner of the stamp set from my last video is Kaylin Krawcheck. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't, but if you want to email me at owlbecraftin@gmail.com, within the next few days, I will get your stamp set sent out to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!